Hello, my name is Dylan Wolf from Project Allure. We help men understand the language of women to get more dates. In this episode, episode 2, we are going to understand why women love chaos. Okay, so there's a number of reasons for this, but we are going to cover an overarching point that is going to help you understand why women just thrive off of this chaos. Okay, so step 1. We got to understand why and what women's motives actually are. Okay? So, most of the time, it seems like it doesn't really make sense, right? Sometimes, like, we're in a relationship with a woman and we're like, how did she come to this conclusion, right? So, a lot of the time, it's actually meant to throw you off. It's a gimmick, it's a game. But guess where it's based on? It's based on emotion. Okay? So that's because the actions are based off of emotion. So this is also the only thing that women are truly loyal to. This is the only thing that women are actually loyal to, is their emotions. They're never going to be loyal to you, the man. I promise you. They're only loyal to their emotions. That's why, time and time again, we have good guys who get cheated on, right? It's very simple, okay? So the reason why this actually happens is because no matter how much you do, how much you give, if you are not stimulating her enough mentally, if you are not giving her the biggest range of emotional fluctuation, you are going to fail in any relationship you have. This is what creates all these villain guys who have it out for women. But in reality, it's just the way that it should be. You cannot blame women for this. And the reason why is because they want to be with the best fit male possible for procreation and a potential, longevity relationship that lasts as long as possible. She knows, hey, I have faith in this guy. I know that I can count on this guy. I know this guy's going to lead me in the right direction, right? So these things are all taking place, and this is exactly why women demonstrate these things, these gimmicks, these tricks, these shit tests, because they're going to try and test you. But it's because they want to be able to experience the biggest amount of emotional fluctuation possible. Okay? So now that we understand women are only going to be loyal to their emotions, we can move on to step 2. Okay? So step 2, how does this translate to relationships? Well, in a perfect world, she wants her relationships to be like how it is in the movies. Okay? So this is so important, guys. I want you to think about all the different movies that have influenced us, influenced your childhood. Think of how it is from a female perspective, right? What does every woman want when they grow up? They want that Prince Charming. They want that guy that, is just like how it was seeing it in the movies when they grew up. So what does that actually entail? Well, there are all these twists and turns, plot twists, but somehow you guys end up happily ever after. Okay, so we start here in the beginning, mundane. There's a big spike. There's a rising action, right? It's just like a movie. They want their love life and their relationship to be exactly that of a movie. There's all these things happening. You guys almost broke up, but then you got back together. Someone did this. Oh, well, now he ditched me for this other girl, but he ended up wanting me more than her. Like, there's all these things that go through a woman's head, and it's because she wants to be exactly like that of a movie, okay? So understand this when you're talking to a girl. If you off rip overcommit yourself and give everything you have, lay all your cards on the table, there's no excitement. You're going to be stuck here, continuously making her feel neutral. You're going to be stuck in neutral when in reality you want to have the biggest, most amount of emotional fluctuation possible. Point blank, period. Okay? So now that we understand step 2, right? Women want their love life to be like how it is in the movies. How do we actually emulate this into our, day-to-day life, our relationships when we are talking to women, right? In this single strategy, understanding step 2 here and emulating it how a movie would be has transcended my love life, has transcended any relationship I ever had with a woman, and they fall for me so much more. They fall me so much quicker because I understand that this is what's going to spike the most amount of emotional fluctuation. And not only that, it's more enjoyable for me, right? So if it's more enjoyable for me, I'm not rushing things. We're taking things slow. That slow burn is the best ever. It's so much fun. And if you're, not too quick to rush into things and you're doing this with multiple women, dude, it's fun. I promise you, once you master these concepts, your love life and your actual quality of women and how they treat you is so much better as well. So there are 4 steps that go into actually emulating this. The first step is going to be patience. If you want to be like this Chad over here, you got to have patience, right? So for example, Chad, he's not going to rush into things. Chad is going to be patient. He's going to play the field. He's going to understand that he cannot let his emotions dictate his actions. The more logical decisions you make in your life, the better, right? The less decisions you make based on emotion, the better off you're going to be, the more successful you're going to be, and overall, the more success you're going to have with women, because women do everything based on emotion, right? So if women do everything based on emotion, but you're operating in a place of logic, guess what? She's going to feel comfortable giving herself to you because she trusts you to be the logical person, right? Not herself. She knows biologically that that is what she wants to offload onto a man, right? So the more patient you are, the more you don't rush into certain scenarios, right? You just let things happen. You interact with her. You're not trying to set up the next date while you're still with her, right? You just let things happen, right? That is called patience, my friend. And she's going to be way more attracted to the guy who isn't bothered to call her right after, isn't bothered to set up the second date while you're still on the first one. Let shit breathe, okay? You need to take a breath and you need to focus on yourself. As soon as you start getting worried and caught up in your emotions, it's going to take you away from the most important thing, which is always keeping you at the center of the priority. She is going to love you so much more if you are always prioritizing yourself. You need to understand this, okay? So the next thing that's very important is going to be dialogue, right? So think of a movie, right? A lot of your guys' conversations, they're completely boring. They're transactional. They're corporate. It's like a job interview. A girl doesn't want to be freaking interviewed, dude. You need to stop asking, what's your job? What do you do? How much money are you trying to make? Keep it light, always. Keep it light as long as you can. And even when she tries to make it serious, keep it light. Because no matter what, you need to make those harder decisions on your own and keep it as light as possible forever, for the entirety of your relationship. Keep it light and fun, because the more you bring all these, factors into your relationship that are so serious, the more serious a relationship gets. This is me speaking from experience. I had a very corporate style relationship, and guess what? It put way too much stress on her. It did, and that was completely my fault because I was so focused on trying to make it work, and I was so focused on building the future that I didn't enjoy the present with her. I didn't enjoy the peace that she potentially could have gave me, right? So you need to have that peace with each other. There's so many things that happen in our day-to-day life. A lot of you guys hate your jobs. A lot of you guys have such stressful jobs. A lot of you guys have a lot going on. So the only peace that you are probably ever going to have is with your significant other. So understand, keeping it light with them and keeping that person your safe space is going to be so much better for your relationships. You need to find a way to lower her anxiety as much as possible, okay? So that's why dialogue is so important. Keep everything light. Keep everything like the movies. Say lines that actors would say. I know it sounds corny as hell, But guess what? It works. And guess what? It's fun. It's fun to do that stuff. Women love buying into that. I promise you, I've done this time and time again. I do it with every relationship, every girl I talk to. Even if I'm not looking for anything, I still do these cheesy little one-liners, these cheesy little things where I play up a story or I create a story or I buy into these little flirtatious games that we can do back and forth, and they love it. Women love that emotional stimulation, and that's how you get all of this fluctuating. And once that happens, you're going to lower her anxiety level to the ground, and she's going to feel so comfortable with you. I promise, okay? So now that we understand patience, right? Number one, having patience, not rushing to the next thing, not forcing her to be your girlfriend, right? Playing the field, okay? Not making commitments early, just understanding and having a good time, enjoying this person, being friends with them before all. Become this person's friend, okay? So we understand patience, dialogue, the back and forth, not a job interview. It's not corporate, okay? This isn't work. This is your potential girlfriend, okay? Have fun with her, joke with her. And if she's too lame to judge you for that stuff, kick her to the curb. She's not worth your time. But guess what? Someone who's going to appreciate your humor and your little things that you like to say is going to be the right girl for you, okay? So dialogue, very important. Next, prioritizing yourself. This goes hand in hand with patience, okay? And I talked about this in my last video. But the point is, when you're prioritizing yourself, you're not going to make rash decisions, right? You're not going to be quick to jump the gun to commit and make this girl your girlfriend. There's been times where I spoke to a girl for over half a year and I didn't commit to her in the form of a relationship. It's because I didn't feel the need to. I wanted to really get to know this person. I wanted to become good friends with them before I actually committed into something serious. Because once you make someone your girlfriend, it's legit. And if you don't know this girl, she could literally ruin your life. Okay? She could take away all the peace that you practiced so hard to build up for yourself just because you committed too early. So if you don't prioritize yourself and you don't have anything to lose, you're going to make this girl your whole world. And then what happens? You lose everything. You lose your sanity, you lose your manhood, and she loses respect for you. Okay? So the last thing is going to be not caring about the end result. In my last video, I talked deeply about this. You cannot care. Stop caring about the result of something. Stop expecting a result. You need to fall in love with the process, because the process is never ending in anything in life. The process is what you need to appreciate and love more than anything. Once you get the result of something as a byproduct of the process, what happens? You get bored. You want to do something new, right? So understand that this relationship stuff is a constant process forever that evolves over time as you guys evolve as individuals, okay? But the core concepts of this relationship, they never change ever, okay? You always have to be at the forefront of leadership, okay? And also not caring about the end result. She needs to know that at any point you are completely okay walking away. As soon as she understands that you need her more than she needs you, you're done, buddy. You're done, okay? Never put your cards on the floor. Because as soon as she sees those cards, guess what? She's loyal to her emotions. She's not loyal to you, my guy. She's not ever going to be loyal to you. She's always going to be loyal to her emotions. Okay? So as much as a woman says that she loves you, she loves the person that you have upheld, the standard that you have upheld from the very beginning. And what men do and why women fall out of love is because men make them their entire reality. Okay? So she didn't fall in love with that guy. Remember that. She didn't fall in love with that guy. She fell in love with this guy over here, Chad, who's patient, has good dialogue, prioritizes himself, and doesn't care about the end result, is okay walking away from her at any time if she's slipping up. You need to keep her on her toes. It can't be the other way around. Okay? So if you understand and master these concepts, you already will understand that 99% of guys are never going to know this. And you are going to set yourself apart from all these other guys who are having these boring corporate conversations with these women because you understand that they want it to be like a movie. Okay? Think of all the lines in the movies, right? Emulate that. Emulate it. And guess what? It's so much more fun. And you can't hold this ideology of attachment to the end result. So far off, and you guys slip on your words, you stutter, you overthink it with women. They want the same thing as you. They want a happy relationship. Okay? Just because they have more options than you doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean you don't need to have self-respect for you. Because you matter most. Okay? If you don't love yourself enough, you're going to surround yourself with a girl who doesn't love you enough. And then your life falls apart. Okay? So master these concepts and you're going to put yourself ahead of 99% of other men. All right? With that being said, that's going to conclude episode 2 of Why Women Love Chaos. Okay? So master these emotional fluctuations in women. Understand that as long as you hold true to your beliefs and be the man, right? She's going to fall in love with that. You're going to set yourself up for way better success and longevity in your relationships, which is key. Okay? Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.